Hello everybody and welcome to the Tarda Zone. We've got the Mandalorian review, Season 2, The Jedi. Yes, I really enjoyed this episode, I have to be honest. It was absolutely fantastic, so I can't wait to watch it again. So welcome everybody. Nice to have you all here. We've got a few people in the chat. Obviously, I'll give you a few minutes. We're waiting on Rabbi and other people to come into the chat. So, oh, there's Nicholas. Hey, Nicholas, disaster area, Charlotte. Disaster area, I just want to say to you, listen, I just want to thank you for all your efforts. And you know what I'm talking about. Not going to get into too much detail about it, but you know what you've been doing. You did try to mend some bridges, but unfortunately, you've seen for yourself, that's not going to happen. But I just want to thank you, because you, along with other people out there, have tried to make this person see sense, but unfortunately, they choose not to. Now they're getting hashtags. They're trying to get hashtags trending, which is actually pathetic. Nobody cares. So, like, you know, leave it out. You're becoming an embarrassment. Well, actually, no, you are an embarrassment. But you're just going to make it worse for yourself. So you're just better off leaving it. By the way, I will be highlighting all of these issues on my second channel because I don't want to talk about this person on the main channel, because that's what they want me to do. So then people will go over and see who I'm talking about. So I'll do it on my smaller channel because I've got less subscribers there. So it works out better. And the channel's not monetized either, so I can do and go crazy as much as I want. So, yeah, I won't be, as I said, after this little conversation that we're having now, done on this channel, because, you know, at the end of the day, that's what they want. They're just jealous. And, you know, I don't like jealous people. You know, it's not my fault that my news is being picked up and articles are covering it. Doesn't make me a liar. I say it's rumor and speculation. If you don't know the difference between fact and rumor and speculation, well, then you need your head examined as far as I'm concerned. And the behavior of this person, by the way, they said that I shot first. I just want to make it clear that one day after this person said they were going to shut it, they started up. So I did not break any agreement, and people will actually can go back and have a look, right? He broke it first, and he continued to do so throughout the whole last few weeks with his posts on Twitter, with his little videos, with his little code words calling me the zone. Thinks I'm bloody stupid. Right? He thinks other people out there are stupid. Everybody knows you've been talking about me the last few weeks anyway, right? So cop on to yourself. Jealous piece of shit, because your news never got the traction that my news got, and that's all it is. It's jealousy because you keep bringing up me subs and me viewers. So to you, that's what you're about. So that's it. I'm done now. Right, I'm going to put Lee, you're obviously coming on tonight because it's the Mando. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put the link in the chat. Obviously, I'm only taking the panelists, so if any new names come in, they won't be coming on, just to make that clear, because we have a set panel. Obviously, if people that have been on the panel before want to come on, that's fine, but no new names, because we don't know everybody, so we don't know what could happen. So there you go. There's the link in the chat. So Lee, get yourself in here. Alpha, Omega, and all the other guys. Rabbi, I'll send him the link, actually. I'll send him an email. So we're just waiting on Rabbi and others, right? They're just going to get something to eat, which I don't blame them. So as soon as Lee comes on, I'm just going to turn on, put something on to eat as well. So I'll let Lee do a little bit of talking. Let's see. I have to get Alpha, Omega, and Rabbi, just in case they're not in the chat. So there's the link is sent to Rabbi. There we go. So there's Lee. Lee is in. So we bring Lee on straight away. Hey, Lee.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm absolutely wonderful. I am, pal. Absolutely.
Marv, super Marv.
Yes, super marvelous. How are you?
Yes,
Yes, how are you?
yes, spiffing, what?
Spiffing, my young chap. Oh, well
Yes,
done. Ha, 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 ha.
chipper.
Yes.
Yeah.
Any plans for the weekend?
Well, once this bloody rendering is done, I can actually get on and complete it, and then I need to make a new Yu-Gi-Oh for the crack whatnot, and then that should be all full and done in capital, you know.
I can't wait. Spiffing myself. I can't even do it now. Anymore. Can't I not? Crikey! And I done my Australian accent, mate.
And you complain about my Irish accent.
Well, come here for a minute, right? It's at least I don't, I admit that me English accent is shit, right? Everybody that does an Irish accent thinks they're doing it brilliantly, and it's cringy, especially American. Cheryl,
Yes.
do a bit. Go on, just say something the way Irish people would say. This is funny. You will love this. Go on.
It's crack, mate.
Fabulous, darling.
Oh,
which is why I don't do it, because I know it's terrible.
Right,
Unlike my husband, who thinks he's somewhat good.
Yeah, I'm brilliant. I'm brilliant. Welcome to the United States of America. No. I'm George W.
No.
Right.
That's it. We'll bring on Matt Jones. So Matt Jones joins us. Welcome, Matt.
Welcome, Matt. You're on mute, Matt.
He's on mute.
Matty mute.
Maybe he's not ready yet. Maybe he's not ready.
Mute Jones.
So we'll just leave him there for a second. He's probably getting something to eat or a cup of tea or something. Alpha Omega, I've to send a link to. So I have to. I keep forgetting what this guy's bleeding email address is.
Well, that's not good,
so I'll go into the chat that we have. By the way,
you need a list.
I sent you on Twitter this morning. Oh, you did. You did there. What? Actually, did you see the messages I sent you this morning? But you just have to basically looking at them right now. I sent you messages on Twitter this morning of all the.
I've been avoiding Twitter like the plague today. Hold on.
Yeah, I don't know what it is today with it, but
yeah. I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hashtags.
I just don't know what. No, we're not talking about that anyway. But I'm just saying it's bleeding ridiculous.
Well, look, it doesn't matter. Look, if this was anybody else, right, anyone would just be looking at this and going, that guy has a YouTube channel. He wants to shut down someone else's channel. That's really not good. that is just really mean. Like,
well, we have a hashtag saying hashtag Cardazone no more. So he is clearly trying to rally people. Again,
he's trying to deny you any form of income.
You little moron. You will fail just like all the other little morons fail, right? So if you want to do it, go for it, mate. Because at the end of the day, right? At the end of the day, I don't give two craps what you think, what you feel, what you think about me. And you know what? It just comes across, and everybody can see it. That's the thing. You look at your views of your videos, you get more dislikes than likes because people can see through your crap. You're just a jealous person, and it comes across, and it's sad because we used to be friends at one stage. But you know what? Feck it anyway. Here's Alpha Omega anyway. We're just waiting on Rabbi as well, and then we should be ready to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave Lee to talk to everybody. Lee, if you want to do a few shout outs in the chat,
I'll do that.
That would be absolutely fantastic. I'm just going to put on the wife's dinner and my own dinner real quickly there. We're waiting on Rabbi anyway, so we said give him 20 minutes or something, half an hour. So we'll just wait. We're 9 minutes in, so we shouldn't be too long. So you go ahead. You're in charge.
No worries. I shall take my whip and crack you all into shape. And welcome into the chat, Charlotte Chills. Hello, all, she says. Absolutely, welcome everybody. We have Disaster Area. Good man. Good to see you. Nicholas Horton, the legendary Nicholas Horton. Welcome. Teddy's Terrier Tales, of course. The lovely Cheryl. Who else we got? Maz1, hello, welcome. Good to see you. Yeah. If you're in the chat and you haven't said anything, give us a wave, say hello, and join us for tonight's wonderful Mandalorian. The consultant could, yeah, hello again. The Lee Zone, damn right. Yes, we finally got rid of him. We finally got Joe's wish. I've now taken over. So maybe it'll be Lee Zone no more. Who knows? So yeah, tonight's episode that we're going to be talking about as well. Ahsoka Tano. Ahsoka Tano, she's been quite a divisive character, I think, in the Filoni-verse. I think a lot of people are quite split on her. I am pretty much completely oblivious to Rebels and the Clone Wars animated series, so I didn't really know. I'd seen her image around, but I didn't really know much about it, you know. But I have to say, for all the trappings of the wonderful Filoni brain that is disputable, it does seem to me that live action, I thought she was absolutely brilliant. I really enjoyed her. She looks fantastic. And I think it is an interesting character I'd like to see more of. But that's my views as someone who really doesn't know. And I do understand that Filoni has, you know, is on board with the whole SJW thing and you know, the whole destruction of Star Wars as it has been. And that Favreau is the man really that needs to get a tight grip to make sure that Filoni doesn't go off the deep end. So it'd be interesting to see what people think. Maybe some people in the chat can tell me what your thoughts are on Ahsoka Tano. Ahsoka Tano, I can't even get a name right, to be honest.
Yeah.
I really don't. But let us know what you think about her and what you thought about the differences there.
I actually thought she was very good. Very good character. I know some people had a problem with her headgear or wherever they are, the tentacles.
Too fat, too short.
For not
maybe
being,
it's an age thing because she's a lot older than when she was in the animated series, wasn't she? So
yeah, but apparently to some people they actually grow longer as they get older. Listen, at the end of the day, right, they have to try and make it as realistic as possible. And the fact of the matter is, if she had them those tentacles any longer, she would have cut them off with her sword. It's as simple as that. So we just cop on to yourself, stop giving out about stupid little stuff, and actually enjoy the show because it was a terrific episode this week. And boy,
it was really good.
Ninja Knight is not here. Would have been very interested to hear his thoughts on.
Well, we know Ninja Knight is definitely not a fan of this character. So, I mean, will he have changed his mind? Will he still be worried? That would be an interesting thing to discuss maybe next week when he's back.
Exactly, because you know it'll be interesting because he's missed. It's 2 episodes now, so it'll be interesting to hear when he comes back next week because unfortunately he's on the move at the moment and it's taking a little bit longer than he thought. So.
Yeah, moving's like one of the worst things.
Don't worry, because I know we haven't had what's the crack. Well, we're calling it cracking time now.
Yeah, you are because that's kind of fits in with what.
And Lee has showed me screenshots so far of this new intro, and oh my god, Jesus Christ! All I'm just going to say is this is absolutely fantastic. I can't wait for you to see it. I mean, Lee is even getting annoyed now because it's taken so bleeding long.
It's now on its fourth day. It's 500 frames, and it's taken 4 days so far, and I'm up to frame 433
out of 500. Out
of 500, so it's getting there. So hopefully it'll be done by tomorrow morning.
I'm waiting to see it. It's absolutely. The screenshots he sent me, it's so look. He obviously knows me because it's everything that's in it. I just love that sort of stuff. He knows what I'm talking about. I just love that sort of stuff, spacey stuff, and it's great. Yeah, I can't wait for you to see it. And I've only seen screenshots, so can you imagine when I actually see the video? I'm probably gonna shit myself.
Well, hopefully it looks all right. That's the thing because. The way I'm rendering it is it renders each frame as an individual picture. So it takes about 15 to 20 minutes to work out everything in the picture as it's rendering, including where the light is, where what the colors are, what the atmosphere is, everything. So it has to do all these calculations, and it takes about 20 minutes for each frame 500 frames, so 500 times 20 basically is what I'm having to put up. So it is. I haven't used this render engine before, so this was my test of it. You know, I mean, I can, you know, as you go along, you do spot certain things. You think, oh God, I could have done that better. But then I think at that point you have to kind of just go, you know what, you have to know when to stop and to walk away and accept it for what it is. Otherwise, you'll never, ever, ever be happy, and it will take forever to do. So
Yeah.
I think I'm quite happy with it. It's my first delve. Hopefully, it's a learning curve. You know, that's why I do these things for you as well, because it helps me. As well as it helps you, it helps me to kind of get my head around this thing.
Yeah.
Blender isn't the easiest thing to just delve into out the blue. Decide one day in lockdown, what do I do? What do I do? You know, I'll learn a new skill. And you know, apparently Blender is one of those things that can give you an absolute embolism. So I mean, it has. That was done. So the frame 434. There we go.
There you go. So we're getting somewhere. Can't wait to see it. The screenshots are absolutely fantastic. Would you like to give people a sneak preview, or do you want to keep that secret? Would you like to show them?
You can show them one. You can choose
the one. You screen share it, and I'll share it.
I can't screen share at the moment, so you can.
All right. Well, I'll choose the one then. Okay. Yeah. Right. Hold on. I'll try. Pick one that's not going to give too much away. Right, hold on.
Well, I think if you chose the one where you can see the thing, there's a bit too much of a giveaway.
Kind of, yeah. The whole, yeah. I get what you're talking.
No. I mean, like the bit towards the end.
Right. Yeah, I know the one you're talking about. Yeah, that's the one I was actually talking about. Yeah, I know the one you're talking about. I hope.
Hi, Lee. Hi, Noel.
Hello, Matt.
Yeah.
I'm back up now. I was just sorting out my computer and sorting my tea out ready.
Good man.
Nice one. Nice one. Fantastic. We're just waiting on Rabbi now, and then we should be good to go. Right, where's Lee in this? Oh, there you are. I was going to say, why is he all the way down the bottom there? I don't like it. That's why.
Get fucked.
Oh, that's why.
Welcome to Daniel. Daniel's in the chat as well. So another hello.
Hello,
legend.
Daniel. I hope you're good. Are you watching the Celtic on tonight, buddy? I shouldn't have brought that up. That's a sore top. Oops. Lee, you sent. Yeah, I'm looking at the wrong. Do you know, Lee? I'm a complete boomer. Do you know what I'm at the being doing? I went into your name instead of going into. No, that actually doesn't make any sense. Lee, say, I what the hell am I supposed to?
You sent what you're doing.
Yeah, you sent me pictures. Yeah. Last week, right? So you sent them in your normal profile, didn't you?
I think I sent them to. I know where I sent them to the chat between you and me and Daniel.
That's why I couldn't find it.
That's why, yeah.
Jesus, right? Because
so Daniel's seen them. Daniel's seen them.
Oh, Daniel's seen them, has he? Right. Well, we don't mind Daniel seeing them. Daniel can get them on exclusive. Why not? He's earned it.
Damn right.
And Daniel has actually decided, which I'm absolutely delighted to hear, he's decided to carry on with his YouTube channel. And rightly bloody so. He shouldn't be forced off by any moron out there. Do what you're doing, because everybody loves what you're doing. And he said his views are up as well. So that's another.
Please subscribe to Daniel Leach's channel.
Exactly, but absolutely fantastic. Delighted that he's not going anywhere. Why should he? There's plenty of big finish out there for you to get your hands on.
Yeah, absolutely.
There you go. So you want the very last photo that you sent me to show?
No, don't. Yeah, because that gives it away.
Oh, it does. Oh, you want me to give the very top one? Yeah. The very top one. Right. Well, hopefully you could see this before I screen share it, so you can tell me this is the right one. So, oh, actually no, because it's just going to show anyway. Right, here we go. I hope this is the right one. I'm not going to show you this. There's the last part.
Yeah, there you go.
So that's all we're giving you, but this is the type. As you can see, the animation is, I won't say anymore, but even those photos, and I love all of this. See this? The planets and all. This is the type of thing that I love. Rabbi be here in 15 minutes, so that's 5 minutes more than you said, Rabbi. You're sacked. That's it. Eat your food, mate. We'll see it in a few minutes anyway. We're just showing off Lee's work here. Absolutely fantastic. So that's a little sneak preview of what's to come on this channel when we and I can't wait because we always release the trailer beforehand to see what kind of reaction it gets. So I can't wait until we release this one to see what
quite happy with
they're going to be like. But the last photo that he sent me, which is the one he didn't want me to share, I'm telling you, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. It's very clever the way he's actually putting it together. And I can't wait to see it in its entirety, actually. How long is it?
Either.
40 seconds long, the usual, or is it a little bit?
It'll probably be, I mean, it has to fit within the 30 seconds. That's the remit that I'm given. It will be about that. I don't know exactly.
Well, if it's under, we're fine, right?
Yeah, if it's under, obviously, it won't be over. But,
we're screwed because
I've got that, but I've also got to do the logo reveal as well. So I've got to design that next as well. So that's still going to take a little time, but hey, it'll be worth it.
We're getting a new logo as well for it.
Well, it'll be a logo for the name of the show.
Nice one. That sounds absolutely fantastic. 4-2 defeat and all, 2 wins in 11 games. Ooh, that is bad, Daniel. Yeah, well, we're not having it any good either. We got beaten. But we won't talk about football because we know Lee and others on the panel and in the chat. Yeah, there you go. They don't like football. So here, before obviously Rabbi gets here, we might as well discuss this week's story that we're doing, The Jedi. Just to give you without giving too much away, Troy just briefly give us his overall thoughts on the episode. Then we'll watch it again, and then obviously Daniel will give you his review. But what did you think of this week's episode? Who wants to start first? We'll go with you, Lee. Lee, what did you think of this week's episode?
I thought it started off very well. We had this kind of ominous situation in the mists. Bit of a massacre going on there, so straight into the action, which I liked. I think it was quite. I saw someone else do a review of this, and I think they were quite right. It was quite an intimate setting. It had the actiony things in there, but it had a bit of sort of more of an intimate setup between Ahsoka Tano and we'll call it Baby Yoda, even though now he's got a name. Which was nice. I do think there were some elements to it that were a bit slow, and there were, scenes where there's action going on there, and the Mandalorian sort of standing around doing nothing there, which I thought was a bit could have been done better. And I think the fight scene was a little bit underwhelming towards the end, but it was still entertaining. I still liked. I think it's a good episode. I think I still prefer last week's episode more, but this one I think was still pretty good, actually. I really did enjoy it. And that's me again, right?
I don't
forgot to unmute.
what you were saying. I mean, I thought this was probably the best episode, if I'm honest, of the.
That's fair enough. I mean, I can see
actually,
why.
the whole series, season 1 and 2, I thought this was an absolutely terrific. And you are right. I mean, the start, it is pretty dark, isn't it? I mean, and it get pretty intimate as well. And I do love the fighting scenes. Look, I just think, do you know what? Again, this was another episode for me that it seems to be getting, for each week now, we seem to be getting closer and closer to what we like about Star Wars. If you get me,
Well, I think Rosario Dawson, who played Ahsoka Tano, was a fantastic actor. She's very nuanced, and for me, when someone has contact lenses on, colored contact lenses on, which she has, I find it a little bit unnerving in characters, because you can't, because when pupils dilate, it's this very subtle thing, but it is the windows to the soul, and it's very difficult to put across certain emotions when your eye is sort of frozen, with these contact lenses. But she did such a great performance that it really didn't seem to matter. Everything in her face, everything in her body movements were very nuanced, and she compensated for that very well. And I think she was wonderful. And all this horrible stuff that they're saying about her on Twitter and things like this, about her being transphobic and all the rest of it, is clear nonsense. I mean, the court case was dropped. The person who made the accusations withdrew the accusations against her. So, and yet, even still, after all that, she's still getting hammered by these crazy Twitter lunatics who just, don't take no for an answer. And maybe they been caught with their pants down, but they're still going for it, or still saying, well, even if she didn't, blah blah blah. And look, forget it. She's not going anywhere. She's here to stay. She's a good, strong character in this. She's a great actor. Very pleased with her performance, and I think it's absolute disgrace the way that they carry it.
Actually, well, do you know what annoys me about this though? Is when the media is covering it, right? They're saying Star Wars fans. You need to stop that. It is Star Wars fans.
They're not fans. They're not fans of anything but themselves.
What's our Gina Carano gone, or Rosanna Dawson? Rosario Dawson, whatever her name is, who cares, right? At the end of the day, right, these are ardent Star Wars fans that are complaining, right? If you look at their bios, right, they're clearly not Star Wars fans. These are idiots that have latched on to every franchise, and they're the ones complaining. Star Wars
they just want to cancel everything.
Star Wars fans love your other one. So at the end of the day, as far as I'm concerned, media, you have a responsibility to report the truth. And
but they don't do that anymore.
These are not Star Wars fans, so stop calling them Star Wars fans want Gina Carano gone. Star Wars fans want...
What they're saying there is, what they're actually saying there is... No, what they're actually saying there is the media wants her gone. Because they're saying, all the fans saying this. No, what they're doing, they're all on board with the same messaging, right? So what they're saying is our plants, we, the media, have decided that she needs to go because they're all activists pretending to be journalists.
Yes.
And all these people on Twitter are activists pretending to be fans.
Exactly.
And that is so damn clear now to anybody looking in. I think as a fandom, we are and have been and will continue to stand up against these bullies, because that's what they are. They think they've got some sanctimonious fucking moral authority, which doesn't exist. They are not the god of us, and they do not speak for us. They are crazy people. They have absolutely no right to dictate terms. They are ill-educated, uninformed, woefully uninformed. They are hateful bigots, and they will be taken down eventually when we win this culture war.
Let's hope that Gina Carano and Rosario Dawson get their own spin-offs.
Well, apparently,
shove that in their
that's
face.
going to happen. That is going to. I reckon that will happen. I think
and I'll watch both.
The pressure will be on for them.
Female leads. Apparently, we don't like them, but I'll watch them because they're that I am interested in. I love Gina Carano. Cheryl, not so much, but that's we can have different opinions. But I love her. I think her character is absolutely fantastic. But I think what's happening here is it's like everything. I don't care what our personal opinions are. right? She has said things that I don't agree with, but at the end of the day, should she lose her job for that? No, nobody should. And this is the culture that we live in. If people out there don't like what a certain person has to say, it's cancel culture. Let's cancel this person. She's a bigot. She's a homophobe. She's this, that, and the other. Get the fucking boat and cop on to yourselves. I don't know how you became all snowflakey and so offended by every little thing. Seriously, you need to cop on to yourselves, because I tell you something, there's bigger things in life to be worried about. Yeah? Than someone use bop, bop, beep, beep, wherever she used, and that's why everybody's giving out about Gina Carano, because she happened to.
Why should she? I mean, don't you think it's misogynistic to say to a woman, you must use these pronouns we are dictating that you have to use? She's clearly comfortable being a woman. She does not need to declare it, right? This is another example of the oppression of women, and it's not coming from the far right. It's coming from the extreme left, because you buggers are the ones who want to dictate everything. You're little dictators. You want her to identify in this bizarre, fucking bizarro world language that you want to force people to use. You've been bullying William Shatner for months and still doing it to this day, because he doesn't want to be referred to as a cis white man. There is nothing wrong in resisting that, because it is absolutely tyrannical to dictate to people how they should or should not accept how they are treated or named or forced to identify in certain ways. That is the road to tyranny, right? You know, this kind of labeling of people, that is very much what tyrannical regimes have done in the past. The bad guys from Germany did it. The bad guys in Russia did it. The bad guys in China still do it, you know. And no, this must be resisted. And will be resisted, and this constant harping on. And it's funny, isn't it, that Gal Gadot, Rosario Dawson, Gina Carano, these women, one of whom is a black woman, who is a bisexual woman, is targeted in this way. So look, it really proves to me that it's got nothing at all to do with being a part of some oppressed group, and that you're all standing up for all women and all this kind of, it clearly proves that you're full of shit. And what this actually means is that if you're not on board with our political message, and even if she is, which I believe that actually Rosario Dawson is a progressive liberal, because she has been accused of something, that's enough to take her down and to chuck her out the club. No, don't buy it. No one's buying your bullshit. We all see through it. You use these people, and then you discard them when they cease to serve the purpose.
Exactly, and that's what it is. Because they perceive her not to be, on their side, they will cancel, and they'll cancel anybody that they believe is not on their side. And this is why television and the movie industry is in the shitter. And it'll continue.
These people are the most stupid people in the room. And as soon as people start standing up to these children, then, we need to start adulting here and to tell them, no, behave, shut the fuck up. These people are the ones telling us to educate ourselves.
Yeah.
Get a fucking grip.
They're also
arrogant pieces of shit.
Get out of the fandom that we've been part of all of our lives.
Outrageous.
Well.
Yeah, Vinay Patel, go fuck yourself. That's the last.
Disgusting.
You can screw off. We've been here before you. And that doesn't really mean that. But I mean, you have to respect the fans that have been in the fandom a long time. But what happens is, you see it in the Star Wars fandom, whatever fandom you happen to be in, they attack the long-term fans. The long-term fans get attacked because they want us out. And you always hear from these SJWs, they always say,
don't worry, Vinay Patel, we're gone and we're taking our money with us.
You can leave Dr. Who. You don't have to watch it, Well, see, this is the difference between me and you moron. Right? See, we're called fans. And you see, even if a series is bad or an era is bad, even though we might complain and kick and scream, We still watch, we still review, and we can give out about it if we want to. Now, if there's anything in it that we actually like, we will praise it, which I have done on several occasions on this channel. But overall, it's been crap. And I have the right to say it's crap. If you don't agree with that, that's fine, fair enough. Go and do your own little videos. But this is what happens. You don't like it, you go, you attack people. You try having their accounts taken down, their YouTube channel taken down. You try to cancel them.
Yeah, and then you get someone like Vinay Patel telling people to get the fuck out. No, you get the fuck out. You're the one ruining the show. You're the one creating a terrible show.
Yeah.
And you're gaslighting people, and you're also enabling the toxic people in the Not My Doctor hate group to go after people. You're giving them a red rag to a bull, and fuck you for doing that, because you should have kept your mouth shut. You should have been professional, and you should have risen above it and moved on. No, you had to go and open your mouth and give another fucking red flag to these people.
Yeah, and because you did that,
shut the fuck up.
And now, because you did that, now we are now going to up our campaign. And because you did that, we are going to be calling every single person now that has been involved in this in the past. So that includes Ben Cook, Crystal D, Beth from the Time Ladies, and all of those other idiots out there that
you get the fuck out
in all of this rubbish. It's time for yous to shut up now, right? It's done, right? Yous have created this culture, not us. And a writer from Doctor Who, and listen, as I said, I was talking.
A writer, inverted commas.
Me and John don't really get on that well, right? We've had our past, we've had our little, disagreements, but I cannot sit back. I was told about this last night by Lee, and I originally said I wasn't going to say anything because it wasn't my fight. But then when I had to think about it, I was like, yes, it is my fight. It's all of our fight, because if a writer from our TV show that we love comes out and attacks someone like that, no matter what his opinion, and I've seen the stuff, he hasn't said anything that was out of line, in my opinion. I still don't agree with the petitions and all, sending them to certain actors and actresses out there, but that's done and all with. But this guy had no right to do what he did. Come out and attack a fan.
It's punching down. It is absolutely punching down.
So let this be a warning to anybody that works for the BBC, and especially those who work for Doctor Who, the magazine, Big Finish, or whatever it is. You come after us fans, and I'm going to make sure, and we're all going to make sure, that you are held responsible and held to account for your behaviour. End of. We are done messing with you people now. How dare you? How dare you come into our franchise? And yes, it is our franchise, because we're the ones that kept it going. How dare you come into our franchise and dictate and tell us what the way we should feel, think, and what we should do? These are absolutely disgraceful, and that writer, well, how dare you? And you know what? I'm not surprised, though, because when you have idiots like Chris Chibnall saying it's not a democracy, and Matt Strevens, and then you have idiots like Paul, what's his fucking face, that was blocking everybody. Cornell, because he's a Mr. Blockety Block. He's another shill as well. And you know what? I wouldn't be listening to Nicholas Briggs either, because at the end, I know Rabbi had him on the channel. We're going to say it out straight. Nicholas Briggs is just like the rest of them, a fucking shill. Right? Look at the Big Finish. Look at the way they've went. He's a shill, right? That's it. The only difference between him and the rest is that, I'll give him this, is Nicholas Briggs is actually willing to sit down and listen to you. But other than that, he's still a shill. They're all shills, right? So we got to send them a message. Stop buying Big Finish, right? Stop watching the show. End of. Stop buying the merchandise, right? And then when the special comes out, don't watch the special. As I said, we're going to have a special screen, and where one person will give the view, but everybody else can watch it for free, basically. Right? Come on to my channel, and we'll be doing that. But I'm telling you now, none of these people have the right to treat the fans the way they've been treating them. And how dare he? Is he still on Twitter, by the way? Because everybody should be going in there and making sure that BBC actually, text Tim Davey, email Tim Davey, and tell him.
What I did was I tagged in BBC complaints, because it's BBC_complaints on Twitter, because that can't fly. I'm sorry, no.
No, because as soon as that starts happening, right?
That's a precedent. That sets a
The
precedent.
rest of the writers then will start.
This is exactly what they did at Marvel, and look how well it turned out for Marvel.
And listen, remember though, Jordan Series 11, we actually had an actress that was on Coronation Street that played Haley. She came out and had a go at fans as well. Do you remember that? So these people are getting a bit too big for their boots and they're forgetting who they're writing the show for, right? All of us, not just a certain bloody minority or a certain vocal minority group on Twitter, right? Cop onto yourselves. And all of these actresses and actors that take a role in Doctor Who, keep your mouth shut. Keep your opinions to yourself. You're there to act, you're paid to act. You're not there to tell us how we should think and feel. Okay? So shut your mouth, do your job, take your money, and fuck off.
Yeah.
Rabbi
Absolutely.
from another planet is here. And we got a speech. Oh, a speech. We got a sorry, I'm on a bit of a roll now. We're on we got a super chat. Nicholas Horton, £2. He says, great rant speech, no. Thumbs up and claps. Thank you. No, but seriously, I'm deadly serious. These people have gotten a bit too big for their boots. How dare they tell us what to do? These people come into our franchise, right? They're paid to do a job, but yeah, they come out and start criticizing us because we have problems with the direction of the show. Who the fuck do you think you are?
Fans of the show that, you know, for in some cases 40, 50 years. And this guy comes in, he writes some of the worst stories in Doctor Who's history and then tells people to get the fuck out of the fandom.
That's the way he does it, doesn't he?
They're all blow-ins and then they blow back out.
I think he must be so completely aware of his own failings that he has to lash out, because he's more than aware of why he was hired and why he is so despised, because he's part of the whole Chibnall era, right? And that whole era will go down in history as the biggest failure in this franchise, and you are part of its downfall, and we will never forget that.
It is the biggest failure, and these fans that have been supporting,
and we're the ones paying your fucking wages, by the way.
You guys, right? Don't be blaming us for the destruction of Doctor Who. Look at yourselves. You are the ones that supported this rubbish, and that's why the show is in the show.
Defund the BBC.
Households, all you want. Deny the 7 million households. Deny the fact that the ratings are down. Go on, live in fucking Cloud 9 or Cloud Atlas, whatever. Right? Live in that little fairy world that you're in, right? But 65% of the audience has walked away as bloody morons, right? So the show is actually in trouble no matter what you say. And why is the show in trouble? Well, if you listen to the people that are actually telling you, then maybe the franchise could move on and actually grow again. But no, you want to keep hammering these our leftist fucking ideology. You want to keep pushing all this diversity rubbish. And again, BBC is replacing the diversity, inclusion strategy agenda thing with another one in 2021, and apparently they haven't reached their goals. So what have they been doing for the last couple of years? Sitting on their arses? By the way, the one that they got to hire for the diversity thing was only hired in 2019. June Sparpong. I can't say her name properly. She worked with Jesse Ventura on conspiracy theory. So they've got a conspiracy theory nut sorting out the diversity in this.
No.
Apparently they haven't reached their target. You look at Doctor Who, he's definitely reaches our bleeding targets, right? He's put them all in bleeding Doctor Who. That's the problem. Spread it out. As I said in my video, if BBC wants to do all of this, I have no objection.
Here's the diversity hire that I want, right? Here's the diversity hiring that I want. I want to see science fiction writers on Doctor Who. That's the level of diversity. I don't care whether they're black, brown, green, blue, gay, straight, or pansexual or anything. I want good writers. That's what I want.
Don't exist anymore. Sci-fi writers don't exist anymore because look who they hire.
Soap opera
writers, right? Same with Star Trek. Right, same with Star Wars. Any of those writers, sci-fi writers, well, okay, we'll give Jon Favreau. I would class him as
enjoy your obscurity.
The rest of the franchises, where's the sci-fi writer? None, because they're morons. They don't know what they're doing, and then they put characters on screen, and they want us to look at these characters. They're just as shallow as a bleeding feckin', I was going to say a hole, but that doesn't.
that's well, it could be a shallow hole.
You know what I mean? It's absolutely ridiculous. But look, I'm going to stop me rant now. 40 people are watching. Like, share, subscribe, by the way. Rabbi, welcome.
Hello, can you hear me?
Of course we can. A little bit now. It's a bit low, but we can still hear you.
Oh, yeah. Ronald D. Moore, I think he's the last sci-fi writer I could think of.
What do you say?
Your volume is
Sorry.
very low there, Rabbi.
Ronald D. Moore, can you hear me now? Is that any better?
Yeah, are you on the phone or something?
Yeah,
I
he's
am on the
on
phone.
the phone. He said he was going to be on the he's, you know, so it's happened
Yeah,
something.
Ronald D. Moore was the last science fiction writer, you said.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, they don't get sci-fi writers anymore. This is the problem. And then they wonder why all these franchises are failing. Well, get the bloody writers in that know how to write sci-fi then.
They're more interested in diversity hires. See, the reason
And having a
they want us to
conversation.
leave, the reason
That's
that
why
they
it's
want us to
orange is the
leave
new
is
black now.
because we understand what quality is. Because we like the old stuff.
Yeah, because we're Generation X and still have our critical faculties in place.
Yeah, but it's massively to their disadvantage. I have fans in the community that have seen good Doctor Who. It's really, isn't it? It's very much to their disadvantage.
Lads, Matt and Alpha Omega, would you like to actually give an opinion there on what we've been just talking about before we start this episode, actually, guys? Because you just haven't had a chance to say that because I've been on an epic rant.
About your rant?
Go ahead. Well, I think you've been seeing this for a long time here with comic books, game developers, movies, and TVs. As far as
I got a lot of thin skin.
Yeah, the people in those industries are slamming the fans, and that's.
I think it really is insecurity. I mean, it has to be. I mean, it has to be a level of thin skin that they simply
absolutely what it is.
I think they just can't handle criticism. They come from that generation where everything is given to them.
It's not they can't handle criticism. They can't even handle implied criticism, right? Like if somebody's taking up a contrary position to them, that's implied criticism. It's not even like saying, "Okay, we can get you have a different." No,
it's not even impolite.
Like,
it has to be condemned. It has to be condemned because how dare you? Everything is so outraged now. Like everything has to be outrage based. So it's like that they are consistently looking for offense. It's a generation that have been told to look out for microaggressions. So again, it's something that they seem compelled to do by some sort of force of educational lack of therein. I mean, it's culturally biased against anyone who is over a certain age. It's very ageist. And it does seem to be very targeted at people who are still thinking for themselves.
Listen, it's a generation that's handed everything. It's a generation that hasn't have to work for anything because, their egos and no, not egos.
It's narcissism.
They're just stupid. I'm sorry, but that's the bottom line. Look, they were raised stupid by stupid parents, and this is the result. So we're going to have a whole generation, not a whole generation, because there are some out there that are actually decent. But unfortunately, there's too many idiots out there. I'm being honest, the next few years, next 10, 20 years is going to be a shitstorm because these little morons are the ones that are going to be in positions of power. These little morons are going to be the ones that are going to be looking after us. So they'll get their revenge anyway.
They'll be the ones stepping us into the chambers.
They'll probably say, well, even better, they're too old, they're useless, let's get rid of them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They'll be the first to don the uniforms. They'll be the first to train with weaponry. They'll be the first to lead us into the gas chambers. These people are psychotic, quite frankly. I mean, like they would treat us with, they would burn us at the stake if they could. I think half the time, I really do. That is a worrying thing. The level of absolute hatred
they would do the absolute worst thing that could be done. That's within their power.
That's why they're such conformists. That's why they're such conformists, because I can tell just by the way that they talk to people, how they dehumanize and easily dehumanize people to the point that they feel morally justified in what they're doing. Those are the dangerous types of people who, like in Germany in the 1920s and 30s, allowed a system like that of tyranny, thought control, of setting groups against other groups and all this other kind of stuff. This was the same mentality we've seen before in history, and they always thought they were the good guys too. Just bear that in mind.
I am. Yeah, exactly. I said it on a video today. Like the last time somebody said they're on the right side of history, they were the naughty Germans.
Yeah.
From the 1930s.
Yeah, that was one of their sayings.
Mm-hmm.
But these people don't understand history because they're too busy rewriting it in their own image.
No. I mean, do you remember like 10, 15 years ago when people were raising children really badly and having their feelings and all that? And we kept saying that's a really bad idea.
Yeah,
that's going to work out really badly. Yeah, so that's where we are.
Yes.
Like when you stop being able to say good boy, because that was you don't imprint your gender identity on it.
Oh,
That was like 10 years ago.
Yeah, we just got to start saying no.
Right, listen though. First of all, Rabbi, check the private chat. You've been sent a message.
Oh, I got to work out to do that.
Second of all, I did ask Matt. We let Matt because we let Alpha get in there. Matt, would you just like to add something onto that before we actually start the watch along? We're gonna get the watch along going now in a second. But is there anything you'd like to add to what we've been talking about there?
Well, it just makes you more not want to watch what they're producing or buy their merchandise.
Do you know what? I'm not going to watch it. I've decided. You can tell me about it afterwards. I'm not watching it. Fuck that.
I'll be watching the reviews. I'll watch some funny reviews.
I've just absolutely no. I've had it. I've absolutely had it. I was saying
no. I don't see anything in the private chat.
Well, there's nothing in the private chat. There's 2 messages from Alpha.
Oh, I can sort that out. I think I can sort that out.
No, it's a chat, the private chat.
In the private chat in the bleeding StreamYard. Sorry.
Yeah. I'm on my phone. I don't know.
Don't worry, I've got it covered. I've got it covered. Sorted. Don't worry.
We got it covered. Right, before we do start, I have a $2 super chat to read out from Cam. He says, "No, yes, give them hell, ruined my doctor." Listen, this is the thing that pisses me off about the whole situation, is that they don't care whether they ruin a franchise or not. That's what's heartbreaking, because we do care.
Well, they think they're a bloody success. They've had so much smoke blown up their ass on Twitter. They actually believe it. It doesn't matter what the ratings are. It's like they just turn a blind eye, and they just continue to pat each other on the back like they're doing a grand job. It's despicable. It really is. It's like anyone else would be out in their ear if it was any other job. Simple as that.
I mean, I think the BBC have made it pretty clear that failure isn't an obstacle. There's no consequence to failure whatsoever.
No. I mean, I really am now very curious as to what this Chinese company is actually, and what input they have actually.
Well, what on earth do they? Why do they want this?
Yeah, well, it means they would have made certain demands. We want you to do that. I think deliberately to destroy our culture, almost certainly, because that's what the Chinese governments do. They, the communist Chinese party wants to ruin Western culture and use it as propaganda. I think they're absolutely pushing this message now.
That does sound crazy. That sounds crazy, but it's the sort of thing that could also be true. You do hear crazy things.
I don't care if it sounds crazy. Look, you only need to see what they're capable of. That's all you need to do. Right now they've got bloody concentration camps going on over there, and no one says anything about that, of course.
Who gets put in the camps?
Muslims, gays, anyone who's an undesirable. Does that sound familiar to you? Yeah, they're
called re-education camps. But you see, the left will come out and give it. The J-bots will come out and say that I'm a racist because of what I said a few months back when I was scared shitless about the survival of my wife and myself. But these people And there's photographs. By the way, the interesting thing about it is BBC have reported on this. No, it's happening, but yet they still made the deal with China.
Yeah.
So that tells you all you need to know. They don't give a
Where's
shit.
the ethics there, BBC? Outrageous. And every single company in China is in some way connected to the Chinese government. Yeah, the Communist Party that's in power. Because there is no private property there. I mean, yeah, they've got a growing middle class and all the rest of it. That is a front. Right, these people, I mean, I would say that this is communist fascism because they've gone from sort of your regular run-of-the-mill communism to enterprise and business and controlling business. So you control the means of production, but also you're controlling the export of your produce and everything. So that is marrying of business and state. So that is fascism by definition. Fascism. And these people are engaged in the worst abuses, and yet they're quite happy to take the money from a Chinese communist-run company who engage in fascism, and these people call themselves anti-fascists. I mean, it's just unbelievable the level of
someone's
stupidity.
very loud or eating something. And then it stops. Exactly.
No, I think it's just some kind of.
Right, well, listen, get ready for the watching along. I want everybody to get their copies ready now because we're an hour in. Rabbi can only stay a
Yeah,
little
should we watch
bit.
the episode?
So,
Oh, my phone's really heating up. 1 second.
baby, I'm ready to go. I'm back. I'm ready to go. From the rooftop, shouting out, do 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 do.
Hey, no.
Yes,
No.
Rabbi.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go. My phone is like really heating up. It's not liking this at all.
Oh. So, are you going to be able to come back? No?
Maybe. Let me give me start the episode. I'll start watching it. When you start watching it, I'll try and jump on. Okay.
Right then. Fair enough.
Right.
That's fair enough.
All right.
Talk to you in a minute.
Right.
See you in a while.
Right, lads. Get your copies ready. Because I want to start this now. We're getting to 9 o'clock. So let's get it on. Let's get it on like Donkey Kong. That's the day.
Thank you.
So, Lee, when everybody's ready, is everybody ready in the chat? If you're already in the chat, let me know. And is everybody ready?
Press 1 if you're ready. That'll be quicker.
Yeah, that will be quicker.
Press 1 in the chat if you've got your copy and you want to get ready.
Baby, I'm ready to go.
I'm probably going to mute so I can listen in to the episode. I'll jump in when I want to speak.
Yep, good. Always a good idea. Right, I think we're ready to go. No?
Hold on, give us a second. Just 1 second.
Oh, right. Is everyone ready? Yeah, everyone's ready. I'm not ready. Okay.
Yeah, well, I just bought me feckin' curry, so relax. I'm pissed off, man. I cooked this feckin' tea yesterday, and I'm not burning it. Right, I'm ready. I'm about to put my earphones in. Just give me a second there, Moany Hole. Right, Moany Hole, whenever you're ready.
Okay, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Previously on The Mandalorian, this is the one.
Baby Yoda eats an egg. Nah, Cheryl's eating pizza. I'm having curry. Kip. The episode we're watching, James, is The Jedi. It's all so quiet. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Everybody likes the start of it. It's, you know, but that's good sign. That's a good sign. I always say if you're talking too much, it mustn't be really that enjoyable. But the start of this is epic, man.
I love the sort of Japanese feel about this.
Yeah. But this is brilliant. When
Yeah.
you see the shooting in the distance, you don't know what's happening. And then you see this.
Yeah, it's like a cross between Western and samurai movies. You know?
Yeah. And what an introduction, though.
Well, that was great.
Oh, that was just epic. And that shot there is just...
It's fantastic.
Bit like the Phantom Menace in the fog when you can just see the lightsaber appear.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, if anybody hasn't watched this episode, I just want to let you know. Obviously, spoilers. We do find out. We won't mention what the child's name is yet, but some of you will probably already know. But for me, look, I'm just going to say this. I know there's been fans saying, oh, the name is shit. Kind of get it. But at the same time, it was all of us that named the child Baby Yoda. The show didn't actually
For
say
me,
it.
it's still Baby Yoda. I don't care.
Right, it's still Baby Yoda to me.
It can still be Baby Yoda. It might just be a name he chose, you know? or to keep secret, you know.
Yeah. And that makeup was brilliant.
Mm.
Oh.
He means business.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
In fairness, you believed her, though. I know you haven't really seen much of her, but when she said that, I believed her.
Yeah.
I just love the way they do that.
Mm.
Actually, we might as well give Ninja Knight mention, but this episode was actually directed by Dave Filoni, wasn't it? So, he's not a fan of Dave Filoni, but I will be interested to hear what he actually has to say, because I really do think this show.
I think the you know, the opening sequence was great. I think the bit towards the end, the battle there was a bit not so good.
Why, you think it was dragged out a bit?
Well, I just don't think there was much going on, and I think that it kind of pushed the realms of, you know, believability a little bit, because it just seemed a bit underwhelming.
I love this. Oh, I want one so bad. But I want one that moves because, you know. Oh, Jesus, look at that. That's just so. He has it. I have to say, Baby Yoda has a thing for round or oval shaped bleeding things, doesn't he?
Yeah, it'd be a nightmare at Christmas, wouldn't he?
Yeah, or Easter. Think about Easter.
Oh, God.
Oh.
It's a little bit like the Death Star, that little
Yeah.
ball. Yeah, I think Dave Filoni's doing a good job of mixing all the different Star Wars universes together. In this episode. I thought that was an AT-AT at first, but it's a
Yeah.
creature.
Does it remind me of the aliens from what was that remake from the 80s that they did? I can't remember what it was now.
Another devastated planet.
Yeah.
I just love this show. I just really do. I just think it has everything that I love. Western, bit of sci-fi, you know, good characters. And also on top of that, you have a little cute character as well, which isn't, and you know, I was saying I was a bit worried a couple of weeks back, thinking that this child was going to become a gimmick, but again, they've proven that it's not, and that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Michael Biehn.
Open the gate.
Not to be confused with Bane from Batman.
Yeah. Getting confused there.
Do we know how many episodes season 2 has this year?
Guessing
Isn't
8
it 8?
again.
8. Okay, so we got
3 more.
we're on now episode 4. So we got another 4 to go.
This is 5, so 3 more.
Yeah, 5.
Oh, 5. I love it. I just love the way he just sits there. Yeah, disaster area. Ted does want food. He wants our food, and he won't eat his own food until we're finished our food. He's a bit of a weirdo. There's 3 episodes remaining. Okay. It seemed quite sinister, didn't it? Here, I was like,
Yeah.
"What the hell?" Reminds me of Nazi Germany in the 1940s.
It kind of reminds me of, like, you know, the Middle East or even the Roman period, you know.
Yeah,
that kind of thought.
Yeah.
As, you know, and then you got the sort of Japanese feel on top of it. So it's quite a mixed bag, which is quite cool. I like that sort of mixed thing, you know, like the Blade Runner kind of thing. You got mixed culture. Like, you know, you got people crucified almost. You know.
I just wish the Star Wars fans that come out in support of Gina Carano and all the other people that they come out and support actually support the show, because they'll support Gina Carano, but they won't support the show, which I think is ridiculous. You know? Like, I mean, again, the biggest complaint that I heard about this week's story or last week's story that we're watching now was obviously what's her name?
Rosario Dawson.
You know, what's our character's name?
Sacco Time.
Yeah, that the ears, whatever you want to call them, tentacles were too small. And then the other complaint was what was the child's name reveal. They're not actually giving out about the story. As I keep telling you every week, watch the people that actually talk about it. They're not talking about things they don't like about the story. They're talking about the aesthetics or CGI or, you know, because they've nothing to complain about. They know this show is good. They know it's a decent show, but they refuse to actually let themselves like it because of the sequel. See, this
I think there is an element of that. I still think that I still think there's an element of, you know, people feeling betrayed by Disney and things. And I think that's a valid thing. It's just, I think it can cloud people's judgment, but also I think that they've also got a point that, you know, they could make this go completely woke by the next season. You know, it could be in fairness, a betrayal again.
If they were going to do it, they would have done it in season 2. I don't.
Well, usually that is the case. Yeah, usually.
It's a hard argument.
I mean, they have treated the fandom excruciatingly badly. So I hope this is an apology. You know, I really do.
Every Star Wars fan just cringed there now. Why?
With you explaining the problem with her costume.
Yeah, her tentacles, whatever they are. I don't know what they're called. They're not long enough. Who gives a shit? Watch the show and stop being a moron. Sick of people now. If it was justified, I'd say, right. I mean, I wasn't too happy about an episode a few weeks back, you know? But be bleeding honest about it. Because I think a lot of people are being dishonest. I think they're deliberately hating on it because of what happened with the sequel trilogy. Again, Lee, you are right. I do kind of get it. But there is a time, you know, the sequel trilogy is done.
You've got to give it a chance. I think, you know,
Exactly.
either you want some form of Star Wars or you don't.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, Disney's what you've got, and you know, take it or leave it. At the moment, you know, with this, they're doing well. So I think you have to give it a chance.
I mean, I think Doctor Who fans would bleed and tear the arm off someone if they did a spin-off now, if it was better than the main show.
Yeah.
Because Doctor Who is so bad. You know, but again, I see a lot of fake outrage, and I think people need to start, you know, you need to get over it. Yes, they ruined your franchise, I get it. Right, but I mean...
But you're still in a better position than Doctor Who.
Mm-hmm. Jesus, I'd love RTD to come back and do Torchwood or something again. I'd absolutely love it. Yous are in the unique position that you actually have something that resembles Star Wars. Again, I'll say it again. I say it every week. Jon Favreau deserves an awful lot of fucking credit.
Yeah,
you know?
I agree, actually.
Oh, this scene is absolutely... This is the scene now. This is brilliant.
Oh, bless him.
That's it. If they want a woke show, they can have their own woke spin-off.
That's the thing. See, I don't know what Star Wars fans want. I mean, there's nothing woke about this. That's what she's complained about. He's complained
I
about
love that.
Mary Sue characters. No Mary Sue characters. So, I mean, I don't know what you want. Oh. Ooh.
See what I mean about the eyes?
Oh,
bless.
I know. He's so bloody cute. Look, even if you're not a fan of The Mandalorian, if you don't like the child or Baby Yoda or whatever you want to call it, there's something wrong with you. You need to get a life. Seriously, come on. It's like a cute little baby.
I mean, that to me is that kind of classic Star Wars feel, because you've got that little heart and soul in it. You know, you've got like the comic relief, but it's also that sort of, you know, going back to the sort of Jim Henderson thing, you know, which I loved. Loved that. I love that. And it, you know, it is cutting edge what they're doing with this puppetry. It's amazing.
Matt, what do you think of it?
Danger.
Sorry, what was that, Matt?
Get all anxious when Baby Yoda's in danger.
Yeah.
You do, don't you? Oh, do you remember when the stormtrooper punched him? I was literally screaming at the telly, "Child out!" What the heck? Don't hit Baby Yoda. Do that again and I'll hit you.
Oh.
I almost slipped and kept name away.
Teddy Bear is my Baby Yoda. So if anybody hits the Baby Yoda on screen, they're hitting Teddy Bear. You can't have that, can we, Teddy? Even that shot there with the moon in the background, you know, the light, and it's just amazing.
Yeah, it's got a good atmosphere.
Every week, the soundtrack for this one. Do you like the soundtrack this week?
Yeah, actually, it's not too bad. This
Okay.
bit's nice, actually. I quite like it.
Right, because you normally don't you know?
No, I mean, it's you know, a lot of people criticize the soundtrack. I've actually enjoyed quite a lot of it. I mean, there are problems, I think, where it doesn't do the job of pushing the scene, or, you know, pushing the scene forward, you know, making it more exciting or whatever. But this is a nice piece.
They just revealed the child's name.
Grogu. It's funny because I always sort of relate Grogu here with Groot in the oh god, my brain.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah, I've always sort of thought those two are similar things, because people who criticize Baby Yoda probably go, "Oh, I love Groot," you know, and it's pretty much the same sort of thing. And now they've got similar names. Oh, this is sad.
Yeah, when she's telling the story. I couldn't believe when she name dropped Yoda. I was so happy.
These little breaths. Yeah.
Baby Yoda. Baby Yoda. Yeah, just for anybody in the chat, not that it's a big deal, but if you do want to use colourful language, please use alternatives, yeah? So if you think something is shit, see, I can say it on the stream, just say, oh, this is poo, or something like that.
Or SH1T.
Yeah.
Just on one.
We don't mind, just, you know, YouTube is the one that's, well, apparently these are all dumb and toxic anyway, you know, and we're all scumbags. So there you go.
YouTube just blocks stuff if they're swearing in the chat or something.
Yeah, well, I have it set that way.
No, I know, I'm just saying that for the people that are doing it, that we don't actually care.
Yeah. Sam says Ahsoka Tano I like very much. Yeah, I do like her character. I have to be honest. I know Ninja Knight, who normally on the panel with us, were saying, well, his dad being a fan of Star Wars, he wouldn't, if he hasn't watched, obviously she was in the Clone Wars, wasn't it, or something?
Yeah.
That fans that are watching this show that aren't traditionally Star Wars fans wouldn't know who she was, so he thought that would be a bit of a problem. But I didn't know who she was. I've seen pictures of her artwork and I've heard Star Wars fans talk about her. But I thought it was a good introductory. They gave us enough information to keep me satisfied anyway. And apparently there's rumors of a spin-off. That would be absolutely fantastic because then we'll get to learn more about the character. So I thought it was a good introduction. I think our makeup was on point. To me, I have no problem with our head. I'll just put it that way instead because
I like head tails.
Head tails. Okay, I think there's nothing wrong with them. But this scene is bloody cute as art in here now because old baby Yoda won't comply. I thought she was going to beat the crap out of him when I seen this. I thought, like, she'll beat the crap out of him so the baby will react.
Oh, snap.
Ooh. Bit of adult humor in there, which we like. I love the fact he just calls them the kids though. It is a stupid name, though, in fairness. But I don't really mind as much as the way people are complaining about it. Who gives a damn? Call the child baby Yoda if you want to. I love the sound effects. Come on, take it. Ah, just that shot alone. So she doesn't consider herself a true Jedi because she left the Order before finishing her training. All right. Well, she's pretty good. She's pretty good. She got worried here, though.
Yeah.
Hmm. Ah. Oh. I did like this scene. I do like the whole fight scene when they go in, to be honest with you.
Perhaps you don't need training after studying with masters for God knows how many years.
Right, I can hear someone's episode in the background. It's not. It's. I can just about hear. I heard her last line sentence, so you'll have to turn it down, or we'll get a copyright claim. I can still hear it.
Isn't me?
I don't know. One of you will have to turn it down. Remember, I have to be very strict on this because every time we do it, I couldn't even monetize the last Doctor Who watch along that we did because the sound came through. They're very particular now. So I thought you had put them on your earphones, Lee. Man, you can't fucking hear it.
Oh, I got my headphones on.
Oh, I love this thing.
Excellent. That goes. I'm out of here. Dong. Love that.
Yeah. Oh no, nobody is. I just want to make sure. I just want to make it clear that we're not giving out the fact if anybody drops f-bombs or anything like that. We just ask you to use alternatives because it's YouTube themselves, right? And because people were, I did have to put the settings on that if people use certain bad language, that I have to hold it for review because YouTube are they're just idiots for it. I mean, Gary does it on his stream. He says, just use alternatives. Nobody is. Go crazy. Sure, I drop F-bombs every 5 fucking minutes. There you go. There's one for you there now. Is Alpha all right? We haven't heard from Alpha Omega. Are you okay there, pal? You just watching the episode?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm just engrossed in the story here.
Yeah, it is actually a good one. Yeah. I do love this part because
Dan Insanto's daughter, martial artist, trained under Bruce Lee.
that is just
Badass.
even the costume.
Yeah, I love this. I love this section.
Huh? I can't wait to see next week's story.
I just love the way she just picks them off.
Very Clint Eastwood.
Is that the same Fox thing from that second sequel movie that shan't be named?
Yeah, it probably bloody is.
Oh, no, it's not.
The one thing that was missing from this episode, in my opinion, was the child, you know, somehow in this compound, Armando and Ahsoka are in trouble, and he uses the Force, saves the day.
Yeah, that would have been something.
Yeah.
It's kind of sidelined at this point.
The child's power shows a bit more, you know?
Yeah, I agree.
But
Yeah, that would have been nice.
But still,
I mean, you're seeing like this section here, and it's just like, well, the bit that's coming up, it's like they're just standing around talking, you know. But she's fantastic, you know.
she played it well. She played a blinder in this. She, even for this alone, she deserves a spin-off. And not only she was very complimentary about the woman who did the original animated, the voice actress that did the animated stuff. She actually gave her a nice little shout out as well. Listen, I love her. She's in one of my favorite films with Denzel Washington, Deja Vu. It's a terrific movie, and she's brilliant in that. So I love her as an actress. I think she's a great actress. So.
I think, yeah. And look, I really don't fully understand the whole problem with the continuity thing that it seemingly is an issue. Listen, I can live with that if it's played well and if they can create a compelling story.
Well, I think so far they're doing well.
I think she's a great actress. She's a compelling character. She's kick-ass. I like that.
Well, listen, we never watched the Clone Wars, right? And this is the first time being introduced to this character, right? Yeah. Sabatano. First time, I have to say, what an entrance. You know, we got enough information as far as I'm concerned that would say, okay, yeah, that makes sense, and move on. And if she gets the spin-off, I'll be the first one to bleed and watch, because I'd be very interested to see what stories to give this character. I think this could be, look, they're onto something here if they play their cards right. The future for me of Star Wars anyway, for the moment, for the time being, is little shows like this. So if you're going to do the Cara Dune spin-off, do it. If you're going to do an Ahsoka Tano spin-off, do it. Do it. Give the fans a different variety, not just the Mandalorian. Give them 2 or 3 shows, and then let them decide. You know what I mean? Then they'll watch whatever one they feel is the right one.
Well, look here. Look. All she needed to do is bring that lightsaber down and take her fingers off. That's the problem I have. This fight scene is just a bit underwhelming. It's just like, oh look, 2 strong women facing off to have to do it all. You know, it's just like just whack each other around a bit. Should have taken the fingers off. And this bit is just like.
Well, in fairness, isn't this part the typical Western?
But again, he's sidelined in his own show. Do you know what I mean?
And you say, look, you draw first. No, you draw first.
I know. But again, he's still sidelined in his own show.
I disagree. I
do. You know, they should be doing something.
Next week could be something else.
But again, this is showing us what this character is all about, though, and I think that's a good thing. You know, we already know. We've already seen Mando in action. You know.
Yeah, gaining new allies.
Yeah, I do love this scene because this reminds me of all the spaghetti westerns. You know, where Clint Eastwood will be standing there with a showdown, you know, and your man.
She could have taken her bloody fingers off by now, for crying out loud. Yeah, that's not a very good defensive move.
Teddy Tarriatel says they always quality after the sequels. I do agree, but I think the future right now is with the TV shows.
I actually can't hear anything anyone says when the fight's going because it's so loud.
I don't think it's too soon for them to do another movie. I think it's still raw with the fans.
Yeah, definitely.
Continue to build what
Yeah.
you're doing with the Mandalorian.
Start small.
Yeah,
Small.
exactly.
But that's the only way they can rebuild any form of trust
In
again.
fairness, this is the way they should have went originally, though.
This is
they
the
should have
way.
started off small and worked their way up. Did a couple of shows like this, the Mando, do a couple of spin-offs, and then do a sequel bloody trilogy. Then you could have probably introduced some of these characters from the spin-off show into the sequel trilogy, and you'd have a much better sequel trilogy. Well, it depends.
I do like the lighting in this. Actually.
Yeah.
See what I mean with her eyes, you know, but she still manages to force her character through, which is amazing.
Yeah, rightly so. This is the way. I was actually going mad here.
But she can sense his heartbroken.
Take the child.
She can sense it. She can sense.
Please don't, because Baby Yoda is.
She can sense it. You know, she knows how connected he is, and she can see he's sad. You know, through that helmet, through his voice, through the Force.
Nicholas Horton with a £5 super chat says a sequel trilogy with the proper Grand Admiral Thrawn.
Yeah, I mean that it sounds like he's going to pop up in this. If not this, then probably in her own show, maybe. That's a character. I mean, I've been obviously doing a bit of research since, you know, so I kind of now know who that is. The blue guy, right?
Look at the poor guy. Look at Baby Yoda.
I know.
Aww.
I love the music in this bit.
It reminds me of the music, like the Ewoks. Remember in Return of the Jedi?
Yeah, it's got a it's got that medieval feel, which I like. So it's kind of, again, sort of mixing different points in culture and history and things, which I like. That meshing.
Remember, we are going to have to say goodbye to Baby Yoda at some stage.
Well, who knows?
It's going to be absolutely devastating for everybody. Yeah. What do you think of the show?
I don't think he'll ever be fully gone from the show. It would be ridiculous. They'll have to work it out. Maybe he'll have a growth spurt. Oh.
That's Yoda's planet, isn't it? Just so I'm clear. Is that the planet that Yoda was on when Luke went to see him in Return of the Jedi? Yeah? Okay. So, see, I'm getting the hang of it.
You're getting it. Well, it's going to be interesting. Who's going to pick up the call? Will it be Sith? Will it be Thrawn? Will it be Luke? Leia?
Well, if rumors are to be believed,
well, we know that Luke at this point is on a quest, isn't he, to find Force-sensitive infants to train. So it would make sense if it's Luke.
Ah.
Oh.
Baby
I think
Yoda.
the Mandalorian will turn out to be Force sensitive. We don't know what planet he was from originally. Grogu can train him, and the Mandalorian can train Grogu.
Do you know what I wanted to see there when she was looking down? I was hoping she would spot like that little silver ball on the floor and she would pick it up and keep it. That would have been
Yeah.
nice.
And
There we
directed
go.
by Dave Filoni, written by Dave Filoni. And
No,
created.
I give him credit. That was a decent episode.
That's what I
Like,
mean. I know Ninja Knight, and it will be interesting when we do get him on next week to
Yeah.
see how he feels, because he does have problems with Dave Filoni and this character that we just watched. But it'll be interesting to see, does he think they did it justice? Because in fairness, you know, I know he was worried. Well, what will I say to my father about this character? Well, I think they gave us enough to kind of, you know, say, okay, that's who she is, and you know, and she gets a spin off. I think that will help fans like your dad and me to understand this character a little bit better. But I really love
Well,
this.
you know, I think for normies though, I mean, this show needs to attract normies, and I hate that expression, but I'm going to use it anyway. But I think it's important, and people aren't going to be so hung up on the lore as much. But you know, as you know, I mean, anything beyond the original trilogy is pretty much alien to me. You know, I mean, I didn't get on very much with the prequels, but and you yourself, Noel, as well. You know, you're fresh to this as well, so it's kind of like we're loving it. I think a lot of regular viewers will love it too. But there's obviously going to be fans who know the lore inside out who will have a problem with it, and obviously without the major fan group, you know, you're going to run into trouble. So it needs to be able to bridge those two, straddle those two groups, and pull it off. So hopefully that will happen through not Filoni, the other one. My brain's gone again.
Favreau,
yeah. For some reason, I just went blank.
Well, that's the first time I've seen one. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, good job.
Gets better every week.
Will you be watching Alpha Omega? Will you be going back and rewatching or watching afresh the series?
If I can, get a hold of it.
Yeah, speak to Rabbi. Yeah, that was great.
Let's get everybody's ratings because because I don't know what, because we kind of said out everything we needed to say while we were watching. So I mean, if you just want to give us our brief opinions on the episode as well, go ahead. So I'll tell you what, we'll start with Matt Jones. Matt, do you want to give your rating out of 10 for this week's episode? And if you want to give your thoughts on this week's episode as well, that would be absolutely fantastic.
Right, well, I'm going to start by giving it a 9. I thought it was a really solid, really good continuation of the story. A lot of different universes, Star Wars coming together now. We find out obviously about the name is Grogu, which I don't mind it being Grogu. Sounds like a spacey enough name to me, and a bit childish. Obviously, they're going to want to sell the product. Yeah, all in all, really good. Getting better every week, even though even the Planet of the Spiders, I really like that one as well.
Yeah, that was a good episode.
Mm.
A lot of people moaned about that one, but
Yeah, they did, and I thought that was silly. Alpha Omega.
For me, almost.
Oh, what's your score was 9, was it?
9, yeah.
Alpha Omega?
I'll give it an 8. Like I said, this is first a weird place to jump in on.
Yeah.
First time I've seen it, I thought it looked good visually. The acting was good, and Rosario, I think, makes a good Ahsoka Tano. I agree with Lee a little bit. I think it was a little Mando light as far as, not having him in as many scenes, but I guess I understand trying to develop a new character there. So I'd say 8 for me.
Nice. No, come back.
I'm here. Sorry, I was just sent a message there. It's quite funny. I've been invited onto a stream. I'll say no more. Anyway, right, so that's Matt. Lee, go ahead. Knock yourself out, me.
Yeah, actually, I think my estimation of this episode has gone. I mean, there are still the same nitpicks that I have, but rewatching it again, I did enjoy it actually more than I thought. So I'm going to give it an 8.5.
No problem. We got a couple of 8s and 9s in the chat. Alpha Omega.
Yes.
You're right.
I already gave mine.
Yeah,
I gave
it 8.
What?
You already did it.
Oh yeah. All right. So Matt did it, and then all right. So you saw.
Are we distracting you there, Noel, from something more important?
No, you heard. Oh, I did get a bit so distracted. I was taking it back.
Sorry to distract you on your own stream.
Dream of going onto a channel of a person that's lying about me is beyond belief. But there you go. I actually now whether it's an invite from himself, but Memory Factory, who's been on me channel and trolling me channel, actually sent me a link to whose stream and says come and join us. Yeah, that's happening. All right, never happened. So yeah, that's actually ridiculous. I don't talk to liars. I don't talk to people that slander me, and I don't talk to jealous individuals. So it's as simple as that. So he can go and feck off. The only reason why he wants me on his channel because he knows the views will go up. Because that's what I do when I go on people's channels. And that's a fact, by the way. That's not me being big-headed. That's the fact of the matter. When I go on these people's channels, their views go up. So no, I'm not going to help him get more views. Right? So he could sit there and call me a liar and all of this other rubbish. No, forget about it. Cam has given an 8. Is that an 8.8.5? 8.5. Okay. I've never seen that before. Fantastic. Listen, I'll give this a 9. I didn't really find that wrong with this episode. Actually, no, I'm giving it a 10 because I didn't find that wrong. I loved it. I thought the introduction of Ahsoka Tano was actually, it was done well in my opinion. I thought the fight scenes were great. I know Lee has problems with the last fight scene, but I actually thought that was pretty okay. Look, it was just an overall fun episode, but also we got to learn a bit more. That's what I'm liking about each episode. Each week we find out a little nugget of
it's an onion skin, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like peeling back. Yeah, exactly. It's like peeling back an onion each week, and we're getting closer and closer to the center. So look, this if Disney had started this way, I believe they'd be in a much better position. But they're not. But they must now continue this and must continue to create stuff like this. Now, I know Lee has his pride. He thinks, because most franchises does, and he's right to bring this up. A lot of franchises do suck you in, and then they go woke. But the thing that makes me believe that this won't be the case is, well, two things. Jon Favreau, for starters. And second of all, they normally do it after the second season. And the fact that they've continued in the same vein and, in my opinion, improved on season 1, I don't think they're going to go down that route. I think they know now they have a winner on their hands. And if they mess with that, there's if they mess with the Mandalorian, it's game over for Disney Star Wars. Mm-hmm. They must get this right. If they don't get this right, it's game over. And so far, even though some fans out there complaining, and rightly so, I'll say, but there are some that are annoying me. There are some that will talk about the show and say, well, I refuse to review it because I thought season 1 was boring. Well, then stop talking about it. let the rest of us that actually enjoy it, and keep your negative opinions to yourself?
No, I think all negative opinions are valid. But again, if they're not really watching it,
Well,
I mean, look, I can understand it to a point, because it's the same with Doctor Who. You know, we get to a point where, like I've said, you know, I'm not going to fucking watch this thing. I'll still bitch about it even though I haven't watched it, because I'll hear it from people I trust. You know, and there is element, you know, I can understand it. But I think there comes a point where if you're just trying to find things to pick at without sort of just cause, really, I think then you've kind of lost the argument. But, you know, the difference with Doctor Who is that, you know, nothing has changed at all in the last few years whatsoever. It's just, you know, compounded and made worse. So we know that there is no interest in change. Whereas with this Star Wars Mandalorian story, they have made that effort. They are listening and they are changing. So there is that difference, and I would like to make that absolutely.
You know, as we say though, you know, they're given, you know, so we have to be a little bit more. You know, look. Jon Favreau's, I keep saying this, right? And I'll defend this show, and I'll keep defending it. Jon Favreau's trying to give you something that you didn't get with the sequel trilogy. And so far, I think he's doing quite well. I remember, we're only in season 2. We don't know how many seasons of this show, how long it's going to go on for. And as far as I'm concerned, it's better than season 1. It's really upped its game, in my opinion. And look, and all I could say is bring on the future. I'm loving this show. I just hope, and look, I do get it because I'm a Doctor Who fan. I know what it's like to see a franchise destroyed. Trust me. But the difference is between our franchise and the Star Wars franchise is you actually have a second chance of fixing it. We don't. Right now, at the moment, we don't. We don't even have a spin-off. So, you know, you want to count your lucky stars. I'm not saying you should automatically bow down to this show. If you do have genuine criticisms, go ahead. But I'm going to be out straight here, Lee. You said it's justified. No, it's not, because most of it is fake outrage. If you look,
there's a lot of that. There is a lot of that.
If you look at what they're actually complaining about, they're complaining about CGI bits or the baby's name being revealed, or Baby Yoda eating eggs and committing genocide and all of this rubbish. They never actually go. But here's the interesting thing: if you go back and look at all of these people, right? The interesting thing about it is this: is not one of them criticized the actual writing of the show or the direction the show is going in. It's little things like that they're complaining about. Little things like that. So if they're complaining about little things like that, well, then for me,
well, there is a plus side to that. There is a plus side to that. They're not complaining that it's woke. So there is that, which is good. It's good that we can actually criticize the show for CGI and silly things like that, because that's what fandom is built on. And it's nice to be able to actually talk about things like that, you know, rather than just going on about how woke it is, because it's gotten so boring. So at least with these sort of silly arguments about genocide because of, you know, Baby Yoda ate some bloody eggs, unfertilized eggs, by the way, it makes a nice, refreshing change. Actually, I much prefer that people are making silly observations like that rather than the same argument, which is usually how woke something is, because, you know, we are all so tired and fed up with that. So it's quite refreshing that we can actually talk about things within the story, within, you know, the production, that, you know, rather, you know, things that we used to bitch and moan about before wokedom came along and ruined everything, and made the argument the same argument over and over and over again. So at least that is in a form a bit of progression. That's how I see it anyway. So I'd much rather this kind of bitching than, you know, having to go over the same talking points again, you know, about woke nonsense and all the rest of it.
Star
It's
Wars
better.
fandom has always been more nicer.
Yeah, I think that's probably true. Well, until recently, yeah.
Right, so see, everybody in the chat as well seems to be pretty happy enough with to this week's episode. I think a lot of people seem to be happy enough with the show overall. Long may it continue. And Tim, sorry Tim, I don't know if Tim was supposed to be on this panel with us. I get confused now. Tim, I don't know.
You need to make a list. Cheryl, you're on list duty.
Yeah, I think I might have to rehire back me executive producer. What do you think? Right, so hands up who wants Cheryl to become the executive. No, hands up. I won't be able to see that.
Press 1. That's
Press
easiest.
1 if you would like Cheryl to be my executive producer, which means she'll put me in line, which means she will keep a list of everybody's names to make sure that I know who's on the panels each week, because I'm a dizzy airhead.
And Daniel Leach says, hashtag kangaroo bollocks at Toby's territory.
Oh, for
Well, I think
Chris with a load of wands.
I think Chris is pretty keen there.
Oh, Daniel with a wand, Nicholas Horton with a wand. Oh my God, these are making me feel like I'm leaving now. I'm see you later.
Because you're a bleeding idiot.
I'm a tyrant. See us, bye.
Welcome to the Cheryl Glynn Show.
As if I'll never retire. But by the way, I have some good news for you all. So on next week's channel, next week on Rabbi's channel, I should say, Cheryl is going to be joining us for the movie vault. So yeah, so come and join us for that. It's on Rabbi's channel. It'll be absolutely. Can't you keep your rants under control too? Not a second chance. And Cheryl wouldn't censor me like that, to be honest. Now, if she does think that I've said something that I shouldn't have said, she will tell me. But no, she doesn't say. She wouldn't do that. Because she knows not to. Because when she starts ranting, I don't. Even though I do say, do you not think you should? It's a bad thing to say to Cheryl when she's ranting. Just let her rant get done and over with. It's the same with me. Just let me rant, get it done and over with. Once I get it out of my system, it's done. It's done. So yeah, I know I had a few rants today, but rightly so. Doctor Who writers and all this, right? I mean, you don't see it with Jon Favreau, right? Do you see Jon Favreau out there attacking Star Wars fans that don't like this show? No.
It's not classy at all.
Because exactly.
And it's unprofessional. That is the thing.
And because Jon Favreau's not an idiot, he knows who pays him his wages, right? He knows that his show has to be successful for him to stay in the job. So even with the interview with Carl Weathers, you could actually see Carl Weathers said something and you could see Jon Favreau's face. He was like, keep that to yourself. That sort of way. He was trying to so he doesn't get into trouble. And Jon Favreau might have different views to Carl Weathers, but Jon Favreau understands, like most of us understand, because he's human after all. And he's saying, not like the insane people, is that everybody has different opinions, has different values, has different morals. That's just the way it is.
And I will say to people in the chat as well, if you can, Bounding into Comics, and Rabbi also did a video on it, but Bounding into Comics did an article on the Vinay Patel debacle. I would seriously suggest to you that you put that under Nerdrotic and Doomcock's nose. Make sure that they're fully aware of that story, just to make sure that they're going to cover that story, because it needs to be known.
Exactly. And Bounding into Comics have already, and I just want to say thanks to John. I do thank him privately, but I'll do it live here again. They've obviously been responsible for putting me news out there, and thanks to those guys, other people have actually picked up me news. So I want to say to John and the team, thank you very much, and thank you very much for sticking with me, and thank you very much for believing me, because as we know yourself, there's a lot of negativity out there. And I thought, well, these guys probably don't want to touch me now because, nobody wants a bit of negativity around them. But the guys have stuck with me. They released me latest rumors. If you haven't seen it, go and check out the article. They actually link me and mention me. I have also noticed as well, not mentioning names out there, right? But I have noticed as well, and Lee kind of pulled someone up on this already as well. And I'm going to say it out straight. If you're going to be talking about the Doctor Who rumors that I put out there, specifically the ones that I put out there, remember to link my channel. If you're doing a video, people are going to think you're the one, because it happened to me already. people are going to think that you are the ones breaking the news, and that's not fair. I work hard to get that source information, and my sources work hard to get that information. So a little bit of credit where credit is due would be nice to those bigger YouTubers that I've seen that have done me rumors, but haven't mentioned me channel, haven't even brought me channel name up. It's actually quite interesting. They've skipped me name just to talk about the rumors. That's not how it works. Okay, you're going to be doing my rumors. You mentioned the Tarda Zone channel. End of. Or I'll be calling people out. I don't give a crap who you are and who you are, how big you are. You're not going to take credit for my news that I work hard to get. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. It's been happening a lot lately. I don't mind.
But shout out to Clownfish TV though. Shout out to Clownfish TV. They did cover it and they did mention you. And I think that's absolutely fair and spot on, right?
Yeah,
absolutely.
As put the article up, he left the article up there at the start of the video and the end of the video, but he was talking about in general terms about the whole wokeness and stuff. If you haven't actually seen that video, go and check it out. It was actually a very good video.
Very good.
He had me news up on the page and he had the channel name up on it, so everybody could see where the information was coming from. But there's other YouTubers out there, I won't mention, doing news on Doctor Who, which I find a bit peculiar because they don't normally do news on Doctor Who. They might do the odd video here and there, but because Doctor Who's controversial right now, they'll hop on board on it. Again, I'll say to those people, stay in your own back garden as well. You do Star Wars, you do whatever. You don't do Doctor Who, you only do it when it's controversial. Stay away, it's nothing to do with you. We're the fans. Don't be talking like a fan because you ain't a fan. It's so bloody obvious you're not a fan. I'm sick of this. Sick of it. I've been having conversations with Lee. I won't mention what we've been talking about, but I've just noticed something within the YouTube community, and I don't like it. Especially with the bigger YouTubers, not the ones now that I've mentioned, like Gary, as Doomcock and all of those other guys, Clownfish TV and all of that. But there are other YouTubers out there that are big, and I've noticed they're crybabies. They're just as bad as the side that they give out about, and they deliberately cause trouble. And then what do? They report on other people's news and don't even give them credit for it. I'm sorry, but that's not how it works. You were a small YouTuber at one stage. You know how hard it is, especially if you get source information. For someone not to mention your name, no, not having it. I've worked too hard. I've built this community up. We've all have. For someone to just come in and take me news and report it and not even mention me channel, right? Rabbi puts the link, description of my channel in his videos all the time. Actually, I only even noticed that nearly every video that he does, my channel is in the link description. Now, again, he does me news, right? Yeah, but I did say to him, because he says no on the stream, and I says, Rabbi, will you do us a favor? Instead of saying no, would you say the Tarda Zone? Because people be wondering, who's no? You know? So he says, oh, yeah, dude. And what did he do? Next video, Tarda Zone is reporting this. That's all I want. There's a little bit of recognition for what I do. I work hard on this bloody channel. We all do, right? You all come here and support me, you know? Yeah, you know, you have someone out there telling you dumb scum. But there's one thing they were right about. You can't be that stupid. Well, they're not that stupid because they're following me and not supporting you, so shut up. So, yeah, so I just want to thank the people that have mentioned my name, that have put out me information out there, and to the rest of you that continue to report on it but not mention my name, shame on you. Shame on you.
And go and subscribe and make sure you support Clownfish TV particularly.
Yeah, support Clownfish. I left them a little comment as well to say thank you, because you know, when you put news out there, I have to be honest, you know, I haven't had this much attention since I've been doing the news, but I have to say it is a great feeling when you see your news out there and you see people commenting on it. It is a pity that you get all the negativity as well, but it's great when people acknowledge it, because then it means, I don't know, it's a bit like, how do I explain it, a bit of a validation or something. It's like, you know, and not only that, it's like me hard work has finally paid off sort of attitude, you know what I mean? And we built this community. You have helped me, by the way. You know, the community has grown. The videos are doing well, but that's all down to you guys. You know, if you guys weren't supporting me and willing to listen to what I have to say, then I wouldn't be here. But I just don't like, 10-minute one. I'll finish up now. This is why I
Now
don't
comes the quash.
or your head in the chat, because I'll have a message flash up in front of me. Right, 10-minute warning. Now it's going to take about 20 minutes to say goodbye and all of this. Like, 10-minute warning. Right, do the countdown. I'll be finished in 10 minutes. Right. So you got the countdown done? Right, 10 minutes. Let's see, can I do this? Right, but that's what I'm saying. I just want a little bit of recognition because I've worked hard. And I think, in fairness, I'm due that. I've earned my stripes in this fandom, and as far as I'm concerned, and I've earned my stripes on the YouTube circuit, and I deserve a bit more respect, because there's others out there as well that have been dismissing the source news, bigger YouTubers, and that's kind of set me back a little bit. Like, they wouldn't do it to people inside the so-called fandom menace, but they'll go after small. I just don't like the behavior. I've seen a lot of things within the fandom now. Some of these YouTubers are becoming the people that they say that they hate. They deliberately start fights, so then when that person then actually defends themselves, then they can twist it and make themselves out to be a victim. Some of them are turning into the people that they hate, and I don't like that. We're supposed to be different to them. We're not
You're supposed to look out for each other as well.
Be the victim. We're not supposed to do this, that, and the other. We have a set of fucking standards that we're supposed to live by, right? When we did this, right? But some are letting those standards drop, right? And it's out of order. But the thing about it is that nobody will call these people out. Nobody will call them out, because you can't call out certain YouTubers because you might damage reputations and all of this. I don't give a crap. If it continues, I will be calling people out because I'm sick of it, right? We're supposed to set a standard here, right? We're supposed to be above all of that nonsense. That's why we set up YouTube channels in the first place, so we could challenge these people, so we could tell them, no, this is the way fandom should be. It's for everybody, not just a certain minority at all. But then I see other, as I said, I've just seen behavior that I don't like, and it's rubbing me up the wrong way. We're supposed to set a standard, keep to that standard. If not, leave. And if you can't say anything positive about a TV show because you hate a certain franchise, well, then I'm sorry, you're just letting your hate and bigotry get in the way. And that's what I'm saying a lot with the Mandalorian. There's a lot of fans out there that just can't get over the fact that the sequel trilogy, and I do get it to a certain extent, but the complaints, if they were actually talking about things that were legit, then I'd have no problem with it. But when you start talking about CGI, a CGI character or an animatronic character eating unfertilized eggs and you call it genocide, or you're complaining about, so someone taking off their mask, or a character's head, tentacles not long enough, or whatever it is, that pisses me off. You're getting the greats. What more do you want? It's not what the sequel trilogy was. You didn't want Mary Sue characters. You don't have that. Right? You didn't want all this wokeness. You don't have that. You wanted something that was actually, exciting, bit of fun. You got that. What more do you want? Tell me, because I'm getting confused now, Star Wars fans. What do you actually want? Because you will never get another trilogy again. That's the bottom line. The sequel trilogy ruined it for movies to be ever made again. You need to get over it now. How long ago is this since the last movie, folks? It's time to move on. Mandalorian is there. Embrace it. Enjoy it. If there are things that you genuinely have problems about, we'll talk about those things. But when you start talking about CGI and all this other rubbish, I don't take you seriously. And if you found the 4th season boring, that's fine. But don't be going on and I won't watch Man USC 2 because I found the 4th. Well, then shut up then. Shut up. You're not doing it. Why'd you bring it up for? Because you're looking for attention. That's why. And that's what I don't like. There's a lot of attention seekers out there. I don't watch it. Look at me. I don't watch it. I've got my hands up. Look it. Over here. Hell yeah. I don't watch The Mandalorian because season 1 was boring. But look. I've got my hand up. Look at me. Pay attention to me. I need attention. Pathetic. Right, just over 6 minutes to go. Well, that's fair enough because I'm going to shut up talking now and I'm going to let the lads on the old stream there give their shout outs. So we will start with Matt Jones. Let everybody know where they can find you on social media if you want to, by the way. You don't have to. And if you have a YouTube channel, same again. You don't have to, but if you want to, you're more than welcome. Let everybody know where they can find you.
Okay. Well, I'm on Twitter as Matt Jones. But I have my YouTube channel. I haven't got any video on it yet, so I'm not going to bother plugging that. But I'd just say no. Obviously, the TARDIS Zone, Nerdrotic, Balls Trek, The Rabbi, usual suspects.
Now, Matt Jones is quite a common name. What do you have your at? I mean, I found you, but I mean that's probably because of people we know. But I mean, what's your at name?
It's at Matt J1803, and I've also got this logo that I'm using here. It's my face logo.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Thank you for that. We will go with Problem Being next.
Yeah, you know. Next.
Problem Being has a YouTube channel. He also has Twitter, and all of those other social medias. If he's not willing to plug himself, I'll plug him. So that's Aldred Audio Visual. That's his channel where he puts all of his nice little intros in there. And you can also find him on Twitter at the Temple of the Golden Asda.
At the Golden Asda.
Whatever. If you were doing it yourself, I wouldn't be getting it wrong.
Well, shame.
Right, so that's him. Right, feck him. He doesn't want to be plugged. Move on. I'm only messing. There it is. It's in the chat. So go and check him out. Seriously, do, because hopefully that video will be done in the next couple of days, and you'll get an exclusive, obviously, on both channels. If you don't see it on mine, you'll get it on Lee's channel. And last but not least, the one and only me quiz teammate today, by the way. We beat Rabbi and his teammate. We slaughtered them, actually, in fact. But there you go. Next week now, Lee will next week, I should say, Rabbi will probably go and find a mastermind champion or something. So yeah, so I'm up against it next week. But Alpha Omega.
Yeah, I believe PD's posted it there in the chat. So that's where you can find me. And I also follow you guys too, again, with Noel, Lee, and the usual gang.
Well, that was short and sweet. There you go. And Daniel's in the chat as well, so don't forget to subscribe to Daniel's channel as well. We're going to be plugging Daniel's channel every day as well. Want to get him up before Christmas, get him up to a certain amount of subscribers. Daniel, just let us know how many subscribers you have now, mate, so we can get you a target for Christmas. We'll try to get you up to a certain point of view. I'm glad to see you're coming back. That's the biggest news for me anyway, is the fact that he has decided to not let the bullies win, because that's what exactly will be happening. And I know people say, well, if he wants to go, he should go. Yes, he should go if he really wants to go. But we all know Daniel enough to know that he doesn't really want to go. He's been enjoying doing what he's doing. So why should he have to leave because of idiots out there? That's all I'm going to say. Right. I think that's it now. How long have I got left?
2 minutes.
Well, I've got 2 minutes. Right. Well, we might have got to the 2 minutes. Lads, any of you on the panel want to say anything before we leave tonight? Anybody want to finish on a positive note? Anything positive there you would like to say?
Looking forward to learning more about Grogu and his training.
Yes.
How much he's had.
I actually agree with you there.
Is he a master in his own right?
Yeah, I would have loved to see a little bit more of that in this week's episode, to be quite honest with you, but I do agree with you, Matt. I want to see this character now start to develop a little bit quicker now.
Yeah, it's a slow burner, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I don't mind if we know that we're going to be guaranteed a couple of more seasons of this. I'm willing to wait it out because to me, it's that good. You know what I mean? So I know fans are complaining that it's a bit slow and it's a bit this, that, and the other. But look, again, what do you want? You know, it's a show based on a universe that was destroyed by three idiots who took over the franchise: Kathleen Kennedy, Ryan Johnson, and J.J. Abrams. Like, you know, this is Jon Favreau. Different. He's different completely. He understands fans. He knows what fans want, you know, and he's trying to deliver it the best he can. And trust me, he might be able to do everything that you want, but it's at least he's trying to do something positive. And Daniel has 144 subs. So listen, even before we go now, right? Let's see, can we get him up to 150? Let's get Daniel up to 150 before the time. 30 seconds. Oh, Jesus. Well, we're not going to have time. Right. Yeah. I better keep to the
time. For those that are listening, this is exactly why I got banned the first time.
Right, there's our alarm. She even set an alarm. I can't believe you actually really did set an alarm. Right, folks. That's it. Then I'm going to have to leave because I did make a promise to the old wife. She wants to see someone eating kangaroo balls. So we're going to watch I'm a Celebrity get me out of here. And then later on, if you want, I did promise an episode or two of Blake 7, and I'll keep to that promise tonight. It will be after 12 though, so my time. But I definitely will be on for it. So if you are available, if you aren't available tonight, as I said, we could do a Friday. But let me know either way, Lee. Let me know either whether you're doing it tonight or tomorrow, right?
What?
Blake 7. Yeah.
It's tonight, isn't it? Tonight, isn't it? Alpha Omega, tonight, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right, tonight then. Right, after 12 o'clock, I'll get in touch with you and we'll do this. And we'll, because I haven't lost interest, by the way. I just haven't been particularly in the humor, and I've just been a bit off, you know. And I've been up weird hours and stuff, and I just haven't got the brain power for it. I haven't lost interest. I love this show. So, Lee, you don't have to worry. I haven't lost interest. I love it. It's just the last couple of weeks I've just been a bit, I just want to do something different. What I've been doing. And Alpha, again, thank you very much, pal, for joining me from the gaming streams. And Daniel, he's in the chat as well. Right, I'm going to go because I'm way over time now. Frying pan time, hashtag frying pan time. Okay, I'm going. Right, here's the intro. Thanks for the super chats, everybody. Thank you, everybody that contributed in the live chat, all my moderators, and everybody on the chat. Thank you very much. And the wife, the new executive producer, or the old new executive producer, is back. Or the reinstated executive producer is back. So tomorrow we have. Tomorrow, the Partisan Talks, where you guys get a chance to come on and talk. And I will be bringing Lee in because Lee will have to keep an eye, because I guarantee you tomorrow we're going to have some people that want to come on. But I'm just going to say it out straight here now on the channel because I want to make this clear. Memory Factory will not be coming on this channel again. So if he does appear, you know what to do. It's just an instant block. I don't even want to entertain the idea of having this chap on. All he
puts fake accents on.
Yeah, and he takes the piss as well. So yeah, so no, it's not happening. So this Saturday. So that's every Saturday, and then on Sunday. Well, Peter Capaldi, always wise word from the man himself. And that's it now. Channel trailer. All of this work, remember, is done by Lee. Check out his channel. Here we go. Good night, folks. Talk to you. Enjoy our week. Start of our weekend tomorrow. And I will see you over the weekend on the TARDIS Zone. Say good night, lads.
Good night.
Thank
Good night,
you.
lads.
Good night, everyone. This is the way.